my sister and I were trying to figure out, what do you get the guy that's got everything type of thing. And I know that Roy had been working on LifeBook, and it just seemed like a perfect fit in terms of trying to give my father something that, A, he's never received before as far as a gift is concerned, and B, something that would be significant to mark his 70th birthday. So we thought that it was apropos to try something not only out of the box, but also something meaningful enough to pay proper tribute and respect to this milestone birthday that he was having. My father was certainly, intrigued by it. Even actually at the beginning, almost a little confused. Didn't even know that such a gift existed, or that there was such a thing out there. So for him, after explaining exactly what my sister and I had given him, he was thrilled. He thought that it was such a unique idea that he really embraced the idea of it from the beginning. So because I didn't sit in with him for the process itself, I would only, because he lived in Florida, I'm in New York, so we would just talk via the phone, and he would tell me about his experiences. And basically, what he would tell me each time is that he was basically really finding it interesting how it was to recollect his life and recall the events of his life. Some that he had forgotten completely about, and some that maybe were attached to some strong feelings that he probably didn't even realize he had. So for him, it was a connectivity response that I thought was very unique in the way he described his experience. Probably never really had a lot of discussions around the materials that he had provided to the editor. So for him to be calling me and telling me about what it was, in fact, that he had talked to the editor about that day was even unique and new to me after a lifetime being spent with him and not having heard about many of these different events that he had been sharing with me. It's funny because knowing a person, it seems like a lot of the same stories are repeated to the point that you find yourself saying in your mind, I know this story, I've heard this story 100 times, and yet here you are talking about that very same story over and over again. And with the LifeBook, it seems like he was able to tap into memories that he never revealed, for whatever reason, to me or my sister or the family, even once. So a lot of these stories were unique in a sense that we were saying to ourselves, how could it be that, we never heard these stories in all of these years, but yet we've heard so many others so often? Pretty interesting. Maybe we're more willing to talk openly without inhibitions when we're speaking to a stranger. And also, I guess, obviously the questions that were asked of him might tap into those certain stories that, we might, for whatever reason, not have tapped into ourselves. So I'm not really sure exactly why it is, but it certainly was the case and definitely proved to be something that my dad was able to open up to on that level that he hadn't seemed to been able to, for whatever reason, up until that point. More about the experience that we were seeking to give as opposed to a finished, tangible product. That was less important to us. It was really more about, did my father get something out of this that he found to be fulfilling and enjoyable, which is what we accomplished and were pleased with. We also were pleased with the actual finished product. It was a very nice finished product that he then in turn was able to distribute to his family, his grandchildren, certain relatives, close friends, things like that. It's funny because some of his grandkids who received it were young, and while we did in fact give it to him, he took the time to handwrite inside each one of them a personal note, basically describing what the gift was and how it came to be, and basically I think this is one of those gifts that will give back many years from now to a lot of people, especially my children and my sister's children, who probably can't appreciate it fully at this stage of their life. And I do believe that one day it'll be there for them to pick up and read and have some insight when my father's probably not around.